If your Monday was as chaotic as mine, I'm sending you my love. I don't know how this day transpired for you, but it's starting with a moon in Scorpio, which can be so moody, and leading into the moon in Sagittarius that's going to stay until Wednesday at the last quarter moon. This was insanity. I'm talking the fire hit like it hasn't in a while. And the fact that it's the year of the fire horse just makes me very weary of when the moon is going to be in fire signs throughout the whole year. And I'll tell you why. I wrote this agenda looking at the astrology of the year ahead, figuring out where the moon is throughout the year and what the emotional landscape might be because of it. And I never thought until now about looking into the symbolism and the energy of the Lunar New Year and how it also plays a part into everything. Because honestly, I don't think I thought it was related, but how could I not? Because it all is. And so I don't know how your Monday was. I woke up with such an intention for it to be an amazing day, and it was. I did so much. But the thing about doing so much is that there's a risk of burnout. There's a risk of hurting yourself. And the interesting thing is that this morning, without even remembering that the moon was going to move into Sagittarius by 11:30, this is the page for today. Slow down. Because in times where I have been go, 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 I burn out. Let's talk about the week ahead and what might come up for us. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Graciela Moore. I am a writer, a narrator, and a coach. And we are discussing the week ahead, where the moon is, and how it relates to our emotional landscape. And we are following the book. I wrote Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace 2026 Manifestation Agenda / Journal. And it's not about the moon and it's not about magic, but it is about mindfulness and how grace, in terms of compassion, empathy, keeps it all together. Did you want to say hi? Did you want to say hi, honey? She came over. I'm trying to give her space. You can stay here if you want. What do you want to do? Okay. All right. So in the back of the book, I don't know if you noticed, but there is a glossary where all of the moon phases are mentioned. And so what is the point of the last quarter? It is going to be officially a last quarter on Wednesday. I know it already looks like that, but there's a process. And so we're not there yet. And the last quarter is the time for you to face any emotional challenges head on. This is a time for self-assessment and addressing lingering issues. Take stock of your emotional state and make intentional choices to move forward positively. So that might come up. If you see that you're coming back around to the same conversations or the same realizations or the same inner issues that once activated your nervous system, and so now they might be activating your nervous system again, it is absolutely because something needs to be worked out. They wouldn't be coming up if they weren't part of the process that is taking you forward. And the thing that I've explained before of why I love to reason in terms of the moon and the astrology, which is again a personal interest, is that with the flow and the movement of all of these external bodies, I can see the cycles in my life. I can see the ebbs and flow and the movement, how all the pieces move sometimes or seemingly not together, but That's not true. It's all working together. And the way I see it is what Scorpio dug up, Sagittarius is trying to make sense of while still being activated. Think of that fire, it's a fire sign, and think of how Sagittarius is so directed. It's the arrow, it just points and shoots, sometimes without thinking. And so, whatever Sagittarius tries to make sense of and hopefully doesn't burn down in the whole process, Capricorn picks up. The moon is going to be in Capricorn Thursday and Friday. And we know that Capricorn is the MVP, is the GOAT, climbing the summit. And so, what summit will you be climbing this week? In the weekend, we're going to have the moon move into Aquarius. And as we know, Aquarius also has a lot of depth to it right now because Pluto is in it forever. It's going to be in it for the next 40 some years. So until I'm an old lady coming in here with the weekly report on the emotional landscape and how we can make sense of things for our own well being and the well being of the people around us, Pluto will be in Aquarius. And so every time the moon goes into Aquarius will be conjunct Pluto at some degree, wherever Pluto is in the moment. And so every time the moon is in Aquarius this year and moving forward, our nervous system will be activated with things that are Pluto related. And it's activating because Pluto doesn't play around, and Pluto is not gentle about the transformation that it's trying to stir up. And so every cycle, when the moon goes into Aquarius from now on forever, we will be activated in our core, in our emotions, in our nervous system, and therefore in our energy and how we use that energy around us in terms of transformation, psychological shadow work, power dynamics, power disparities, power plays, the destruction of systems, the crumbling of towers that we have been discussing since 2024. And of course, all of that happens in the macro because that's why it is a generational shift, meaning huge systems that make up our world will not shift in the 27-day cycle that the moon takes to make 27, 28, 29 days. But we keep learning every day and choosing, and the evolution is happening as we speak. You cannot deny it. And if you don't want to say in the comments that I'm right, that's okay. That's okay. It's all going to show itself. It will all fall into place. I'm just warning you that the pattern of nervous system activation and people being mad at the fact that some truths are going to stir them up if they're not ready to do what needs to be done about it, then you'll see. And that's how we end the week. Now, let's look at the affirmation for this week, and you tell me how that resonates. All I know is that this morning, this affirmation was all I needed because I woke up in a good mood, and then the moon in Scorpio showed up. So, as the moon descends through shadowed waters, I release what clings without name. Let truth dissolve what is outgrown, that renewal may rise from stillness. Now, did I practice stillness today? Absolutely not. I took that fire that I felt this morning and I ran with it. Did a lot of rage cleaning. It was amazing. I feel like I'm ready for spring. How did you handle the fire that you're feeling with everything that's going on? It can be very powerful, and it's going to get, I'm not going to say worse. I'm just going to say it's going to get interesting. And hopefully we don't keep looping back around to the same inane, pointless conversations in our lives. Hopefully we can really take some of the clues that all these planetary alignments give us, like Mercury retrograde. Why don't you review a few things? The point of reviewing is to assess what needs to be edited. The point of reviewing is to assess what could be done differently. And then you don't just leave it and ignore it. And if you do, then that's fine. But here we see what needs review, we see what needs to be transmuted, and we take action. And I'm not saying that we win all the time. A lot of us have experimented with different things that we have been in conversations about, and not everything works out. Not everything will. That is the point. And if you're at least trying, then we got this. Remember, if you want to follow the journey, get the book. If you want to get exclusive content once a month, then subscribe as a Patreon subscriber. And as always, there's links for all of the rituals that support my day to day in the description. I love you all, and I will see you next week.